Hello, I'm Genevieve O'Brien and I'm coming to you live from Las Vegas. Today I'd like to discuss Walmart's unethical labor practices. In November of 2012, a fire raged through a Bangladeshi factory producing clothing for Walmart and many other companies. 111 people were killed and more than 150 were injured, according to a paper written by Prakash Sethi. This is just one in a long list of horrific labor conditions that have been found in companies producing Walmart materials. A CBS report that was published on the Institute for Global Labor and Human Rights showed that Walmart was having their boxers produced in a factory also in Bangladesh that had dozens of employees who were 12 years old and extremely horrifically poor working conditions. Both of these scenarios and many others like them have come up regarding Walmart's labor practices, and each time Walmart is claiming to not know that these conditions exist, or indeed that the factories in question are even producing their goods. Sethi's article discusses the idea that Walmart practices the art of implausible deniability. This author suggests that Walmart has been consistently accused of and sometimes even implicated in bribery scandals and labor scandals, both local and global. Why then does Walmart continue to be a global superpower? Zakir, Akhil, Qureshi, Salem, and Inram discuss just a few of the health hazards faced by child laborers, and they suggest that most child laborers are coming from extreme abject poverty, where their income is vital to their family survival. And because of this and the poverty conditions around that, there's a lot of health issues involved. But because they recognize that a lot of these families need this income, at the same time, those children still need to work to survive unless something vastly changes in their community. So they actually suggest changing and improving the working conditions of those laborers rather than completely doing away with child labor. The Ethical Trading Initiative shared a great deal of information on both why child labor exists and what can be done or should be done to reduce the frequency of or the working condition of these children. Some of the things that they pointed out were that these children are working because their families desperately need the income, and this becomes a huge issue with child labor. If child labor simply becomes illegal or it just gets shut down completely, it hasn't changed the root issue, which is that these families desperately need the money. So they're going to go about it trying to find it in different ways. So this would tend to suggest that the company needs to look into the issues that surround that rather than just the issue of child labor. Kolk and Rob have discussed the ethical considerations that corporation and stakeholders may not be the same as those in the countries that their factories are in. Therefore, what Americans might think is ethical and okay might not be the same thing that Bangladesh thinks. Therefore, it would make sense for companies like Walmart, with their massive amounts of money and power to get these goods produced, that they actually take that power and use it to improve those conditions by saying, we won't produce our goods in your country if you don't up these situations. Recent news stories seem to show that the American people no longer believe that ignorance is an excuse for unethical labor practices. Indeed, the media and the internet have given people a vast amount of access to how much information is available, and therefore they are more aware of what is going on in the world if they choose to be. For this reason, it makes sense for a company to work to not be doing unethical things and to indeed be shown to be improving the unethical practices in the countries where they operate. And it's interesting because the articles that I previously mentioned all suggest that the living wage in these places, that the wage being paid to these children is often less than $20 a month. And even an increase of 50%, which is just $10 US, would make a huge difference in those families. Often these children are working because their parents alone can't make enough money to support their families, so they have to supplement that income. So increasing parental wages by even 50% or $10 a month would potentially reduce the need for child labor. it's interesting because we do have so much more access to information now. And even 30 years ago, they would never even dream that this could be done. But that means that companies have to strategically make their decisions with this awareness in mind. Walmart needs to up its game and become proactive in its practices rather than consistently attempting to deny everything. This is part of what needs to change in Walmart's strategy. Thank you and have a wonderful day.